The Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero is now on the podium as civil society groups had gathered outside the Johannesburg Council chambers here in Johannesburg protesting over the water crisis. Let's take you live there now.
Yonke lemibutho ekhona namhlanje okubaleke kakhulu ukuthi njengomphakathi waseJohannesburg masinazo ikhalazo sizibeke eminyango kahulumeni uhulumeni sicela usixazulule nazi inkinga esinazo abantu base-Ekenhof bayakhala bathi amanzi awafiki nibazwile abantu baseBraamfontein bakhalile nabo bathi amanzi awafiki ngafika ke eBraamfontein ngathi ngingenelele nani eKenhof ngizofika ngingenelele bafikile nabantu base-Ebony Park bathi amanzi awafiki sathi ake silungise nayo sibhizi ke nase-Ebony Park ne-Ivory ukuthi nabo babe namanzi ukhona izinto eziningi esizilungisayo hore bathu baruna bathole metsi Coronation Ville Westbury le teng re fihlile ra leka ka mo ka kgonang re lokisa le di pump station tse pedi hore area ele ya Coronation le Westbury baska nkhona sis iposter yakho ayisasebenzi le poster ithi where is Dada Morero nayo sis uyambona uye ke lo Sambusisi lerangazi sekayangazi so jalewa ulu kitonga memorandum ena ketsamaya le yona memorandum re lokise ntho tse re tshwantse re di lokise re rata re sa rate re tshwantse re lokise re arabe ditletlebo tsa batho a ke na choice ke tshwantse ke eme ka maoto ke lo le lokise ke tlotla le ko lona ko Ekenhof bekeng tse tlang ke tlo le bona ke busy ana no le ko Mountain View ke se ke rometse batho ba lokise metsi ka hore batho ba ko Mountain View ba tlile bekeng ba tlo le lokisetsa taba ya metsi ko Mountain View hore batho ba Mountain View ba be le metsi ka morao ga mo re tlo ba tlisetsa re ba agele di toilet ka hore sanitation ke dignity so ke atla le tampona mo bekeng tse latelang jwale ge ngibonge kakhulu ukuthi nivukile ngamhlanje nathi ake siyomkhumbuza lo hulumeni ukuthi neyinkinga akasixazulule. So I want to appreciate the work that is done by civil society, because civil society has the responsibility to keep government on its toes. National non-governmental organizations, CBOs, we have a responsibility to keep us to be working as government. So don't ever think by any standard that what you have done today is counter-revolutionary. It is not. In actual fact, what we have done today is a revolutionary act to say to government, stand up, we have problems, resolve those problems. And we will meet with your leadership constantly so that we can go point by point in responding to the issues that have been raised. So I'm going to take this memorandum, go with it and respond. I will call inkokheli zenu mhlale nazo siphendule yonke into. Ayikho into ekumele isihlule masisebenzisana phakathi komphakathi nohulumeni ukuthi silungise izinto. Ngithanda nonke and God bless you. Thank you.
The Johannesburg Mayor receiving a memorandum of demands from civil society groups that have been marching since this morning, in fact holding a protest just outside the council chambers in Braamfontein here in Johannesburg. And the concerns over the water crisis, the ongoing water crisis, is what has brought those protesters there. Civil society groups handing over that memorandum, complaining about constant demands, constant delays, not delays, in fact, disruptions in water supply. And we've seen that, in fact, in several areas here in Johannesburg. And this is not the first protest, in fact, to take place. All right, you'll also recall what we had been bringing you live was also the funeral of the two Mamelodi girls who had been killed. A huge outcry from South Africans about this very tragic incident that had taken place. And the final resting place now, that funeral taking place in Limpopo, and where the procession has now reached is the final resting place of the two girls. And they've been really an outpour of words of comfort from South Africans ahead of that funeral service, which is almost near completion. And that is, of course, of the two Mamelodi girls, just 21 and 22 years old, having met their demise at such a young age, and family and friends, community members, attending that funeral service. 22-year-old Tsiamo Muramaga, as well as 21-year-old Baliseng Muramaga. That funeral service taking place at Lukau village outside Limpopo. Many have certainly gone out to pay their last respects. Let's take you live there for just a moment.
Khotswaebele batho a ke go leboge motsamaiši wa modiro wa mahloko, ke leboge batho ka moka ba bileng gona mo go tlolla le rena ge ba ekwa mokgoši mo ga Moramaga la re boa.
Take you live now. We do apologize. Let's come out of that and take you live to a press briefing that the Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero seems to be having with members of the media at the Joburg Council. Live now.
Focusing on water and infrastructure. So part of the issues they've raised are part of the issues that are in the agenda of what we have established as the presidential working group. But in any case, I will still have that meeting with them where we can go into detail on the response. Because some of the issues raised are quite technical. I mean, we have explained over and over the sweeping account, but the matter is brought back regardless of us giving answers. So I must then sit down with the team from the civil society so that we can explain what this thing means.
We heard no water, no vote. Are we worried about the impact of this issue in the polls next year?
Well, my expectation is that these are civil organizations, CBOs, community-based and NGOs, and they are entitled to raise their voices. And of course, society, if government is not responding to their immediate needs, the only tool that they have is the elections, and they will decide how they use it. However, whilst you raise that there will be no vote, we still have a responsibility as citizens to participate in every election. It's our responsibility so that you can make a choice and decide which government must lead you. But I'm satisfied with the concerns and the issues raised, and we do have sufficient responses. And we have never shied away as the city. There's a bigger infrastructure problem, which is a water infrastructure that we are constantly responding to, and will give a proper response to each and every issue raised on the water infrastructure.
Mayor, will the city be ready in light of the fact that we are waiting to host the G20, which is less than a month away from now?
Well, remember the areas that are affected by water currently. It's Kensington area, which has a very severe challenge. which we are responding to. At least 80% to 90% of the issues in Westbury, nuclear and coronation have been resolved, except the issue of throttling, which we do it at night. Sandton, Bryanston, all those areas do have supply of water, except for throttling. So we are ready from water supply, security issues. We are fine. We are ready to host the G20. There's never been an issue that we thought we will not be able to host. We have hosted already 8 meetings of the G20 right here in Johannesburg before the summit. So we do have the necessary capacity. That is it. Where's the discontent? No. The leadership gave me a memorandum. So when you have said there's a memorandum to be delivered, you come and receive the memorandum. They normally give you a period in which to respond. So in this case, we will then convene them so that we can engage with the leadership. It will be very difficult. No. Then I should not have came here.
Did you not know this is happening today?
No. Today they are delivering the memorandum official. I do have responses to all the issues raised, and we'll then have a closed, proper meeting. Because how do you respond in this environment? It's not practical. So we will respond to all. We have the responses to all the issues that they've raised.
You are saying we're not here to respond to those issues because they say they expected a response to the issues that were brought up in the memorandum they gave 2 weeks ago. They weren't handing over a memorandum.
Remember, some people when they get here, they play to the gallery. They have requested me, they wrote to my office, and the letter says, Executive Mayor, may you please come on the 1st of November to receive a memorandum from the following organizations. So I'm here to do exactly that.
And then how do you restore confidence to South Africa? We see that there's a lot of issues to Joburg and sorry. There are a number of issues that have come up. You were in court yesterday, there's the water issue and other issues as well.
No. We have been working very well on responding on the water issues. I'm definitely sure that 90% of all of you here do have water. Do have water in your houses. Now, the area that is adversely affected is Kensington. We are putting systems. We have been working in Kensington for the last 2 months with an intention to sort out Kensington because it has been adversely affected. Hastel 1 and Hastel 2, we are building pumps there so that we can resolve the pressure issue in those areas. So it can't be that it's as if there's no water in Johannesburg. There's water. There's water in Orlando West in Soweto. There's water in Soweto. In fact, we're building and renovating and refurbishing 3 reservoirs in Soweto. So it's not like it's finished. There's a problem. Yes, there's a problem in Kensington. We have resolved the problem in Coronation. People have water. Informal settlements, we supply them with water. We have put up static tanks and we provide them with water tankers on a daily basis to ensure that the supply of water. There's partnership that we have now signed with the Gauteng Education Department so that schools in those areas, we can do boreholes so that children can have water through the toilets so that school doesn't have to go to be closed when there's no water. So those projects are there and they're happening. In Coronation area, we have done 4 schools already. We have drilled the boreholes and those boreholes are now running. So there is interventions. But we have never said there's no problem on infrastructure. We have said so. It's a historical issue. It requires us to focus, and we've got a backlog of about 37 billion rands to sort out the water infrastructure. So we are working on it.
Mayor, are you happy with the water tank system? Some people are saying they're corrupt. Some people are saying you care more about the
Well, it has been raised as a concern. That is why we have now bought 20 trucks which are owned by Joburg Water, so that we can reduce reliance on external contractors. So I think in the next financial year, we'll also increase, so that as and when, remember, water tankers are only meant as and when there's interruptions. It's not a permanent feature. It's a standby feature. So we are buying an extra 20 in the next financial year, so that as and when there's disruptions, we are able to provide water to those areas.
There are ladies here who say they live in Orange Farm and they've been using water tankers for 7 years. Is that possible?
I would like you to go to Orange Farm and confirm. Orange Farm has 6 wards, and all those wards have water. It could be an area somewhere which is an informal settlement, but not Orange Farm. I know all the 6 wards, they all have. You may have instances where there's interruptions. Yes, they've had a long period of no electricity as a result of transformers that they've blown, but that matter has since been resolved. It's probably only in Ward 131 where the transformer has not been fully resolved.
But more likely in an informal settlement where there's not existing need.
Probably in those informal settlements that just popped up a year ago, there might be a bit of challenges with water supply.
Sorry, my question was in general, just around the issue that now we see all the talk about the full confidence motion as well. Just for you, how do you restore confidence in your leadership by residents?
Now the motion is there, it will be debated in council.
How do you restore confidence?
And at the point of the motion being debated, we will then debate and respond on the confidence of the city on the matter.
Does it surprise you that there's no confidence in certain sectors?
Read the content of the motion, which I think they can share. Council will share with you at the date when we are debating. Then you'll realize that there's no content in what has been raised. Bali? Okay. There's Kulman Ahmed journalist. Yabo, Tabang, sharp. Thank you. Senyamba na much.
Mayor, can you please answer one?
Nelengland mfana mina.
Mayor, please.
Yes. Tabang.
All right, the Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero addressing journalists there ahead of accepting that memorandum of demands from civil society groups concerned about the continuing water crisis in Johannesburg. He's received that memorandum of demands and addressing some of the questions from journalists there about possible impact at the polls next year as a result of the ongoing crisis. And let's go to our colleague now, Mbalenhle Mthethwa, who will give us a wrap of exactly what the mayor was addressing there. Mbalenhle, it's over to you on some of the key issues that the mayor was addressing there.
In his response, he explained that there are some technical issues that he cannot present or speak about in this current environment. However, he has made a commitment to speak or to meet with the civil society organizations in order to find somewhat of a better way to explain the technical matters. But he has explained that the city of Johannesburg is in the process of repairing and maintaining 3 water pumps supplying Soweto, as well as the very problematic Aikenhof pump, which has been part of the biggest cause of the water challenges. He's also reassured residents and explained to residents that the water challenges in places like Coronationville and Westbury have somewhat been resolved, and right now Yeoville is some of the areas that are still outstanding, and efforts are still underway to try and resolve those issues. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us, Mayor. In your response, you say there are 2 water pumps that you are addressing, and the technicalities pertaining to the issue of the water challenges in Johannesburg and the extent of the challenges. Kindly just bring our viewers into confidence and just give them a brief understanding of what's happening.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Mbale. We did indicate in Johannesburg that got a bigger issue in terms of our water infrastructure. And this is as a result of our pipes that are leaking, some of our reservoirs that are leaking, which requires refurbishment. In this financial year, then we then made commitment to at least refurbish 24 of the 45 reservoirs, and we are busy with 19 currently, as we've got sufficient budget to do those. Hopefully we should be done with those by the end of 2026. Then we can commission in the next financial year the balance of about 20, so that at least we can do the required work to bring our reservoirs up to standard. We are doing pipe replacement. It's not at the pace at which we want it to be at. It's quite slow. We're only doing about 84 to 85 kilometers of pipe replacement, which is not sufficient. Would have loved to do more per financial year so that we can reduce our water losses, which are quite high, sitting just around 36%, between 36 and 40%. So we need to reduce our losses, and by doing so it means an aggressive pipe replacement program. We are also replacing what is called pressure valves throughout Johannesburg. Some of them are old, some of them can no longer function optimally. So those are the type of things we are doing. We are also doing pumps in Hestel 1 and 2, so that we can have the ability and the capacity to be able to pump water, especially to high-lying areas. We have concluded a very big 26 megaliter reservoir in the area of Brixton, which will be unveiling quite soon. We should have done it last week, but due to other programs of the executive mayor, have not been able to slot it properly into our diary, but we will unveil it quite soon.
Now, as you know, the DA federal chairperson, who is now the mayoral candidate for Johannesburg, who will possibly be going alongside you in the 2026 elections, local government elections, is here. And we asked her about the issue of bylaw enforcement. And we know that you are in court currently fighting the right as the city of Johannesburg to enforce bylaws. How do you feel about Monday's outcome? Do you believe that you, as the city of Johannesburg, you've put across a strong case and you should be able to continue with the work that you've already started?
Well, Mbali, let me start here. I think we should give it to the judge. The judge gave us an opportunity for the two parties to negotiate a settlement out of court. And we took about 3 hours debating. At some point we were agreeing. At some point then they come back and they don't agree, which was an opportunity for us to really resolve this matter without burdening the courts. So unfortunately we are going on Monday. The city has a strong case, and we believe that the proposals that we presented to Siri, which the judge also requested that we submit to him, are likely to form part of the judgment because they are fair, they're genuine, and the intention is really, firstly, to ensure that we strengthen informal trading by ensuring that it's in the right places, in safe places, in designated areas, so that the city can give them the support through its programs, and whoever is legitimately there can then be registered and be issued with a smart card. So we are continuing, and we hope the case will be in our favor.
With regards to salary negotiations or wage negotiations, it's 21 days to the G20 summit, and there are rumors and allegations that Samu plans on disrupting the G20 proceedings in order to bring attention to the wage negotiations. How are those negotiations going, and are there any contingency measures to prevent any disruptions of the G20 summit, whether by Samu or any disgruntled organization?
Well, I don't think Samu will disrupt any of the meetings of the G20. Secondly, the process was put in motion in Johannesburg almost by November last year. through a facilitation that is facilitated by an independent mediator between the labor and management, where they're finding each other and the different proposals. The mayoral committee has also approved some of the proposals that were presented through the mediation process. So there's progress that has been made in terms of agreeing on what should happen. So I think it's a question of finding each other finally, because the proposals, the principle is there. We all agreed that workers should be paid at grade 10 level, which I think the city did not implement when other cities are implementing. The city made a commitment that in the next 3 years, we think we should be able to complete what is owed to the workers. And the proposals were given to the workers, were presented to the mayoral committee. So we believe there's motion in that regard. And I don't see any trade union, some in particular, going out to try and disrupt a national meeting, which is not a local government meeting.
And now, with regards to the no confidence motion that is filed by minority parties, should this motion of no confidence fail or succeed, or rather fail, will the parties that have brought this motion continue to be part of the government of local unity, or will they then be phased out? And are you confident that you'll be able to survive it?
Well, the ANC as a party will then engage on those matters, because now currently I'm the mayor, I'm not responding as the ANC. So we'll then have a discussion as the party to say how do we view our interaction with Ultramar, ATM and UDM, who are the sponsors of the motion. The rest of the other parties are not sponsors or no support the motion, and I think others already had a press conference to indicate that they do not support the motion. The motion normally has issues that you present, and they've presented their issues in the memorandum, in the motion, so that the programming committee can look whether it conforms. Some of the issues that they raise is that the mayor has failed in providing services. And of course, the motion is raised by 2 former mayors who were mayors of the city of Johannesburg. And I suspect we'll then have to look at the track record between Mayor Morero and the other 2 mayors who were mayors of the city of Johannesburg, whether they were able to provide service delivery. I can give an account on the programs that this collective of this mayoral committee has been implementing since we came into office on August the 16th, 2024. But nonetheless, let the motion come, and the ANC will take a decision to defend the motion.
Thank you so much, Mayor, for taking the time to speak to us. There you have it. That is the Mayor speaking to us on many issues pertaining to what has transpired here outside of the council chambers, as well as the looming no confidence motion. It is back to you in studio.
And that is Mbalenhle Mthethwa, who is with the mayor of the city of Johannesburg, Dada Morero, there, answering a variety of questions, especially on the tail end about that motion of no confidence that is facing in the city of Johannesburg, brought by a grouping of minority parties in the city. Of course, he's also addressing a myriad of issues, including the ongoing water crisis in the city of Johannesburg.